Maybe we should stop eating.
Why?
Because we're recording.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Picture it, pink pants and a floral shirt.
Shall we begin?
Are we on?
We're on. No, like, I literally just cut it.
Oh, okay.
So you're safe this time.
Good morning.
Let me move my mic closer, because this is a very special episode.
This is the end of the calendar year.
Yes.
So this is a wrap. Well, not a wrap, but it's the last episode of 2020. As you said earlier, our baby turns 18.
It is episode 18, guys.
18.
Hey.
I don't know.
I need like a little soundboard. So I'm gonna burn.
And then some. All of that.
We're gonna work on that, y'all. We're gonna work on bringing y'all sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've done really well with the upgrades.
We have
from the beginning.
Oh, like we just running our mouths per usual, guys. Welcome to another episode of ALilRandR. It's your boy Ramon,
and I'm Reese. You are right. Hello.
I think we just so excited to do this episode.
This episode. It came
we
out of the sky.
We could not hold our excitement.
It kind of, Ramon again came through with the idea because we were kind of like, what is going to be the last episode of the year? Well, you know that.
Actually, I told you no the first time,
right?
So I'll be honest.
Yeah, he wasn't. Well, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, what are we going to do? And then boom.
I think I told you no, I didn't know, and I sat and pondered about it. And just to give you guys a little backstory, Reese always comes with great ideas. And if it comes in a form of promotion, edits he want to do to the show, and initially off top, I will tell Reese no. I'll tell Reese no.
I don't like it. No.
Because his ideas always come from... He presents them as, this is what I want to do, and you need to figure out how we're going to do this.
Right. Because Ramon is a technical genius behind all of this. Like, I think that, again, I contribute the promotion part.
Yeah.
Content.
And I love it.
I mean, we have our lanes, and we stay in them. So then I'll be like, oh, I want to do this. Mm-hmm. And this episode will kind of feed into some of those things. But, like, for instance, when we first started, if you guys remember, if you've been rocking with us since the beginning, there was no intro. There was no intro at all. And I was like, I want an intro. And my mom was like, no, we don't need an intro. And I was like, Frank, we need an intro. And so we've come there. Ramon knew that off top we needed new mics after. So our very first, and so this
Let's go through it. Yeah.
Do you want to introduce the episode? Because we are just going.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing the episode.
Yeah. All right. So this is how excited we are. Like,
don't even know where to start.
We want to just tell y'all everything. Like, oh my god. So we're going to go episode by episode for the ones that we feel as if we want to talk about. Oh,
there was something.
I just noticed, like, if I talk over here, you can't hear me, but if I come right here, you can hear me.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah. But when we get where we going, we're gonna have that surround sound.
That's why my mic is always over here.
Because you do more. Yeah, you do more of them.
I'll let Reese set up the studio today. Hold on while I move my mic.
So what we're gonna do is we're calling this our 2020 year in review, right? Mm-hmm. So our year in review 2020, whatever. We're gonna go through some episodes that were fun. There is one in here that was not my favorite. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some behind the scenes stuff that you may not have known. Given the episode, we're going to talk about some little things that we do or that we don't do that work for us, and just basically kind of revisit how we got here and yeah, and then move.
How we got to y'all speakers, y'all headphones, y'all commutes, whenever y'all jogs, whenever y'all listening to us, like. It took a minute, but we happy.
We made it.
Hey.
We made it. And we thank you guys for rocking with us. So,
Let's go. Episode one.
So episode one.
Working the kinks out.
That was the title. Let me pull up. I went electronic today, y'all, with my notes.
And he's struggling.
I can't see. And struggling.
He is struggling.
I'm using my notes.
I really thought you was going to bring out the pen and paper.
No, because I wanted to, you know.
Okay.
I'm practicing.
She's trying, guys.
I'm trying
It's
to
cute.
get with
It's so cute.
So, episode one, working the kinks out, dropped 1 June 2020. It was at the onset of the pandemic. Well, not the onset. We had already kind of been in it, but that was a topic of conversation because we had started the podcast.
Shout out to the pandemic for pushing us to create our podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good things that came from the pandemic. As much as y'all want to be
Absolutely.
like, oh my God, I hate it. Yeah, there's been some good things.
Yeah, when you reflect that, some people, there are some good things that came out of this.
Exactly. So that was one of them. We started the pandemic. Our logo. So
did we ever tell them the backstory about the
we
logo?
talked about it on that first episode. We talked about it, but we didn't give them the full. So what it was, if you guys don't know, I am one of those individuals that likes, I'm a black business owner supporter. Mm-hmm. Right? So I had a friend who did graphic design or whatever, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. Let's get a logo. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely,
I was like, let's, I reached out to him, and he was like, cool, I got you. Ramont kind of gave me his ideas. I gave the guy all of our ideas via an email, and then we had a conversation. What he sent back to us was, it looked like a flyer for a kid's party, carnival party or something. It was just like stars and shooting stars and all these. It was just a lot. So I was like, this is a lot. Ramont was like, no. Ramont, I'm going to give you the short version because we can go on for days. Ramont said no. And I'm not joking. Maybe, and tell me if I'm being too much, but I think like between 5 and 8 times, I'll say.
Probably more.
Yeah. I was going to say like 10 plus.
And initially going in, I didn't know what Reese was putting in order to get this logo done. So I'm just getting the proofs sent to me. Hey, this is what he came back with. What are your ideas and what are your edits and everything like that? And I would just basically be like, scrap the whole thing. I hate it. Like, it needs to look like this. This needs to be here. Move this, and there. Honestly, if I could do graphic design, I could. And that could probably be, I'm probably one of those clients. Like, well, bitch, if you could do it yourself, then you should have did it.
The reality is, though, can we be honest? You did it. Like, yeah. So Ramont did our logo. He did every piece of our logo. And what we ended up paying for, and I'm not knocking it because it's your business, it's your hustle, and I respect it. But Ramont did it, and this individual just laid it. It made it one. Like, Ramont did it in pieces because you did. Yeah,
because I didn't have the software to do it. Yeah.
So,
because that's not my background, but I knew how I wanted it to look. So I literally had to copy and paste each individual piece of our logo to say, this is it. Send this to him, put this together, and then we're done.
Yeah. And so the drama was, he told me, he was like, well, typically I don't have this back and forth, and typically I charge more. Sir, what I need you to do is what I asked you to do. And if it came at more of a cost, then let me know that. Because I felt like he was coming at me kind of like, you asking for too much. Sir, no, I'm asking for what I want. So
if this is not my vision, then
I don't want it. Like I said, it looked like it, and I'm not knocking his creative, but it did not work for what we wanted. It looked like a child's birthday party flyer.
And another thing, to be fair and to be honest, we allowed this person to do it because Reese had already started the relationship with him. Reese had the rapport and so forth. Because I was like, hey, I got a guy as well. Reese like, no. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's go with them.
Right.
And how I'm set up, it's pretty much, okay, we're done with them. And honestly, I would have started researching, bought Adobe software, learned how to do this, watched a few YouTube videos, and ended up making our logo ourselves.
That's what Ramont does. And that's his part. Like the mics and all of that. That's him doing the research, figuring out what needs to happen, and boom, boom. But to just get through the logo drama, that was it. We went back and forth like 15, 20 times, and we finally got what we wanted. Did we end up paying more? No, because, again, it wasn't put out there up front. So It was what it was. Love and respect.
So logo drama and good morning and secluded locations were things, all things I told no to. I said, Reese, no, we're not doing that. No.
Shout out to our friend, the friend of the show, Q, because me and Q, every time it's good morning. I don't care what time of day we talk, good morning. So that's where it came from originally. And so when I said it, I was just like... Now she gonna sue us. We got to bring her on the show as a special guest a couple times, and I think we'll be good. But shout out to her, because that's where it came from. And like I said, it was just... And when Ramon said no, I was like, no, because it just makes sense.
And I'm saying I'm going to drop every episode at night.
Right. Right, quotes from working the kinks out. The whole can we curse? Like, I don't even.
Oh yeah,
can we curse? You was like, well, we ain't no rappers.
We ain't no rappers. Who gonna censor us? Like, who gonna add the beeps in? Because I'm not beeping.
Right. So
we beeped out names though. We have done that to an extent.
Not bleep, but yeah,
to an extent.
So. That was another thing. I think two things that we decided on that episode were that we did not pigeonhole ourselves. We did not say that we were going to talk about this, and this. Because I think that that's very damaging for what our brand is. Our brand is we're going to have a conversation about any and everything that comes up. Like, we've had political conversations. We've had Black Lives Matter conversations. We've had conversations about
gay pride,
like everything. And I think that because we're friends and because we have these real conversations, there was no way that it was going to be, okay, let's put ourselves in this box. So I'm thankful that we didn't do that.
Absolutely.
And what was the other thing you said?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but we can tell you, episode 1 was trial and error. We did not have mics.
Oh, we didn't have mics.
We literally sat at the table
next to each other.
And was like, okay, we guess it sounds good. And just hit record and just went with it.
Yep. And it was good, but it was just like
this was
yeah. But it worked out. I feel like it worked out.
It definitely did.
We talked about a couple things that we talked about were the fact that I can't stay on topic.
And you still can't.
And still can't. Ramon has the room. What we were talking about me eating and the whole thing about.
You want to start an eating podcast.
Right.
And people are going to have to guess what you're eating.
Like, never happened, but the episode might be coming. I don't know. Season 2. I'm just joking. But that part, and then Ramon had to reel me, and we talked about how Ramon's birthday was ruined. Mm-hmm. And right after that, I almost died from what we believe to be coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And then we talked about the one thing that we ended with is that we weren't editing.
And we don't.
The episode ended with something. I said something about editing, and Ramon was like, I ain't editing shit. And I was like, all right. And I think, again, it has worked for us. It's us. It's our brand now.
All right. So, episode 2. This was, I think I brought up this to Reese. It was during the time of the riots. What the fuck is going on? I think it was after George Floyd's death.
Yep.
We sat down and recorded that episode. Very emotional. It was a good time during the pandemic, and us recording some things for the culture did start to happen and provoke conversations with us, which plays back to why we did not pigeonhole ourselves into particular conversations, categories, or whatever the case may be. Because, I'm sorry. I apologize. Work email came through and I looked at my watch. I know I should not have been doing this on my second job.
Okay.
So yeah, very good episode. Anything you want to say about that one?
The only behind the scenes with that one that sticks out is we started that one like 2 or 3 times because that was the beginning.
Yes.
And it's not, again, we're friends, so we're able to talk to each other, but I think that we had not that I missed the seriousness of the topic. I knew the topic was serious.
Or the tone. I didn't set the tone.
Yeah. And so Ramon was very, like, I was like, good morning. Like, I was hyped. And he was like, sir, no. Like, bring it down. And I was like, oh, okay. So we're not doing it. He's like, well, the topic. And I was like, okay, so that makes sense. So I think that was the only time that we started a couple of times. I think we did like 2 or 3 times, but then it was like, okay, I really got what you were saying. So, yeah. Episode 3, Pride Month.
Hey. Shout out to the gays.
The LGBTQ plus. It was fun. That was a fun topic.
We learned some things.
Yes. About each other then just in general, because that's when we started defining things. We started doing definitions and making sure that, because one thing I never want to do is talk from just what I know when there's a way to get the actual knowledge. Like LGBTQ, that's my extent. Like that's what Reese knows.
Yeah, you had definitions and everything that day.
The LGBT, that plus includes a whole lot. So I think it's important that if we're going to be on a platform, we give you guys not just our knowledge, but a little bit more. And again, we're learning as we go. It was a realization for me that I hadn't really had deep conversations with any of my family. Like, again, I am just who I am, so I have the expectation that they just accept me for who I am. I don't have to say I'm gay or anything. It just is what it is.
That's why they think everybody that you bring home for the holidays is your boyfriend.
Good night. I'm done. No, maybe. So then me and my sister kind of talked about it, and it was just kind of like a moment. So it was a moment. It was cool. It was a cool moment. And then the one thing that I took away from that is that both of our families are very supportive, and we're very lucky in that regard. Like, we don't have the issue of being shunned or any of that.
Right.
So that's amazing.
All right. I love how
I'm gonna give you all the bonuses. Well,
it was only two.
Because
y'all see how you do me?
No, Vermont did the first bonus. That was on you.
The second one was a joint effort.
Right.
Because you brought it up.
I called you.
Okay, there's Kiki. It was a bonus episode. Reese called me, and he brought up the fact that Kiki Palmer was talking to the people of our armed services during the Pride and protest, and wanted them to come down and march with her and everything like that. And he was explaining it to me from armed services point of view, and I had to explain it from a civilian point of view itself from our initial conversation. And per usual, no friends, stop talking. We're gonna say this for the podcast.
I think that's when it really started, because I called him and I was upset. Like,
you was
no BS, and it wasn't about her necessarily. It was just about the fact. I was like, how dare anyone have this?
Because it could have been anyone.
Yeah, and he was just like, well, Ramon was just like, well. The one thing that stuck out to me was you said, well, that's what you guys are supposed to do. You're supposed to protect and serve us. And I said, wow, that was profound to me, because yes, that's absolutely right. However, there's a way that we do that. You know what I'm saying? There's protocol. And so I think that that's what you didn't know.
Yeah, right. I did not know the protocol.
I felt like we in that conversation, like it was just like,
because we don't look at it like, oh, y'all working, y'all clocked in,
right?
Like, where's the time clock at? Clock out, ho.
So
beat my ass, come over here and clock out. Because you can fight me on your job, but you know, if I'm at work, I can't fight you.
Yeah. So, so yeah, that was to me that was a really good episode, because it was a moment of, again, just being able to see it from someone else's eyes.
That's what I love.
I was like, oh my God, that was a really good. Yeah, I do too.
I love us for real.
For real. For and real.
Because we have these conversations in these different points of views, and it's why not most of the time, but why we're able to have conversations, because we don't always agree.
Absolutely.
And Reese will tell you, he'll call me with something, and I'm like, and to play devil's advocate, him being my friend, of course, I'm going to agree with him. I'll support him in whatever decisions in which he make. But as his friend, I am also going to play devil's advocate. So therefore, it gives him a different perspective of whatever we may be talking about at the particular time. And it helps you process things as well, instead of overthinking and thinking that, you know, how you're thinking is absolutely correct.
Right. It lets you know that there's more than one way to think about something. And again, I always appreciate, that's why I think that it works, because I think we value each other's opinions. And again, this was in place before the podcast. We had those conversations before the podcast even started. So it was like easy. It was easy to just make it happen. So
okay.
What's the next one? That was
There's Kiki. So now we're on One Night Stands.
One Night Stands and a Walk of Shame. This one was very, very interesting. So the one thing behind the scenes on this one was there was no intro. There was
What do you mean? Like we didn't do intro? When did our music kick in?
Our music didn't kick in until
we
later.
ain't had music yet. Sorry.
No. So there was no. This is who we are. It was none of that.
So
we jumped in and went on in. That's all it was.
So as y'all see, being that that was episode 5, and we still haven't had intro music because. I'm gonna pause here and give you backstory. Reese stressed me the fuck out about this music, and the thing is, this is our baby. Reese is my friend, and I look at like we're parents.
Yes,
Reese the wife. Wait. He asks for stuff. I initially tell him no. But then I find a way to give him what he asked for. So he wanted intro music, and he would bring it up every now and then. Oh, and I want intro music. I want intro. Reese wants things, but doesn't know how to execute these things. So I had to research how to put music in, what music is allowed, where people get music from, how they do it, and it's like, oh, you can't use an artist song or they may sue you and this, that, and the third. And then it became a rabbit hole of, oh, you can go to this website. They have free sound clips that you can, save. And then this other website, you got to pay if you want these particular sound bites. And then I was on YouTube taking sound bites, watching videos of how people add it in there, where they get their stuff from. I created a folder of sound bites that I thought was appropriate. One day after work, came over here
to our secluded location.
Right, I had to come to the secluded location in order to do this, and played around with these beats and sounds and clips. Like if you notice, you have clips of us like randomly talking in between, like the radio station turn. Mm-hmm. That was me for a few hours.
That was a whole day. I think that
it was a long day.
I don't think we even recorded that day.
No, we didn't. Just
came. Then that was a whole day.
It was a whole day for me. Reset on his phone.
Friend, don't do that because while I was on my phone at some point, I'm sure. You
got to listen. Yeah, you got to listen. Yeah, he got to tell me no, I don't like it. Do it over.
Well, if that's what they say, happy wife, happy life.
In fact, it was literally that. Episode 5.
So it was very split, like very different. Not very different.
We both had 2 different moments. It was funny. That was funny.
So one, I will say, I feel like we were all over the place, but I feel like Vermont was very the epitome of a one night stand, like his one and done type of guy. And I was, it came out that I process shit. Like I go into a situation and I process. And then I come to a conclusion. I say, okay, I can do this, or no, I can't do that. Or
absolutely not.
Yeah. It's just too much.
Ain't stressing myself out.
So yeah. In this episode, I think this is when it started. I started recognizing there were moments where Vermont was just rude. Yeah, but yeah. And then I think that there was a moment where Vermont gave us a whole, not a dissertation, but he gave us a blurb on the hookup culture. And it was very much, I remember vaguely, it was kind of like, okay, when you in that moment or whatever, you call the one that you really want to hook up with, and you call the backup just in case that one doesn't answer. And then I was like, wait,
you playing early,
right? I was like, no, I just call one person, or I text one person and say, okay, what's up? Oh, you're not good? Okay, cool. And it's okay because I'm like, because I'm processing too much. I can't do that processing for more than one person. So
somebody might be busy.
Yeah. So and. If you guys listen, what episode 5, One Night Stands and Walk of Shame, it dropped on 29 June. Take a listen because Vermont's story about his, it wasn't a, you, it was, he got caught up.
We were both in predicaments at that time.
He got caught, but Vermont's story, baby, he got caught up and somebody mama came to the door. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all got to figure that out. Like, go and check that out. If you have not heard it, you definitely need to tune in.
All right. Episode 6, Friends, Relationships, and Everything in Between. I love this episode because we had our friends on.
I was not in love with it. So, I really enjoyed it, but I was not in love with it. I enjoyed it. I'm going to see what Vermont tells you about this episode because We're going to see if he keeps it 100. Go ahead, friend.
Okay. I loved it because our friends were there. Yes, there were some issues while recording at the time that Reese and I are not proud of. And we actually recorded another episode that day, but it'll never see the light of day.
Never.
We may re-record it another day, or me and Reese may just do it on our own.
Yeah.
Things that I took away. So where it all went left. Reese and our good friend Omari have a habit of, they always go back and forth. So in the beginning of the episode, and I think it was just an introduction. We didn't even get anywhere.
You're right.
And y'all start from the gate.
No.
Amari started from the
Thank
gate.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. Because we know what it was. We know.
Amari doesn't have a platform to defend himself.
That's not my problem. That's not my problem. Let me say this, though, before any rumors get started. I love
They do.
Omari.
And that's where their love-hate relationship comes from, that they can't even go 3 minutes without it being some type of conflict. And I was over it because I was like, bitch, when the fuck y'all gonna finish? Or are we?
So what? Again, if you check out the episode, it started with the topic talking about talking about. I was reading. I'm so sorry. We were talking about this. Okay, here's a behind the scenes. The topic was the single friend. Right? That was the original topic.
Yes.
And then it evolved into friends, relationships, and everything in between because everything that came of the conversation, we had to rechange it. We had to change it. So in the intro, I'm saying, okay, we're having this conversation. Ramon is in a relationship. Tonio's in a relationship. Omari is single. Wait, what?
Omari was being very elusive to what he was doing, and we were all sitting there girl.
But
okay.
what are you giving right now?
I'm who's confused. Listening to our show?
Right, I was.
This
confused.
isn't daytime television.
So that's where it's.
All his dates were going to see him and be like, "Bitch, you
hear
single?
Hear him, right?
You single? I heard you on the podcast. He gonna say I ain't say that, and they're gonna send him the sound clip, and then he caught up.
So that's where it went left, and then it just.
Eventually, we had to stop them.
Yeah,
because they would have kept going.
Because I think that I don't remember for sure, but I think I was kind of in my head and okay, I need to just let this roll, let it roll. What I will say, another, I guess, kind of behind the scenes, we do cocktail when we do the podcast sometimes because
sometimes,
well, we always cocktail. Yeah. So that day.
It was hot.
It was hot, and then we're cocktailing, and then it was.
And we were eating healthy.
We knew
healthy food and cocktails don't mix.
We were good. I think that just the drinks came to a head, and it just kind of made the conversation.
But that wasn't until the second episode that we recorded. The
first one was a little. I think the first one led into that second. Yeah. Okay. So it was almost a dub, but. I will say that what I remember, it was a loud ass. That it was just the sound was all over the place. And
we got to work on our mics with 4 people. Maybe we're gonna get some more mics.
Yeah, we will definitely upgrade. But that was our very first episode with guests. So that was okay. And
what better way to do it than with friends?
Yeah, I would have never done it with anyone else first.
Yeah,
I think that
absolutely.
it worked out. Omari will definitely be back. Tonio will definitely be back.
They want to come back.
Yeah, it's they. I think that they both bring value. I just think that moment, that time,
they got a thrill out of it.
Yeah, of course. And we did get some verbiage from Omari. We got the good time girlfriend. Well, we were talking about friends and we were talking about the different types of friends. So he was talking about the good time girlfriend. That's the friend that you just go out with and you have a good time, and then you don't really keep them in the loop of what's going on with you because they're just not that person. Then you have your waiting to exhale group, which I feel like that's kind of me. That's our group. Me and Ramat are part of that group where you can really just let your hair down, be yourself. And then we have the homie hopper, which I think is self-explanatory. A homie hopper, which we really don't keep those. Well, we don't have any of those, right? No, we don't. So yeah, I think that there was a moment where Ramat was at a loss for words, and I think that speaks to how well we work together again, being friends, but also working together, because we do take this seriously and we look at it as a job. I don't even know what happened. It was, again, in the beginning.
I don't get no benefits on this job.
Yes, you do. Ramon, stop it. Don't do that. But
I work overtime and he don't pay me. There's some labor laws here, y'all.
Listen.
Are any lawyers listening to the show? I think I got a case.
You might be right. Because you do. I mean,
you do.
Anyways, Ramon was at a loss for words, but we picked it up. And he had another moment where he was just nasty. There was another moment. But anyways, next.
Girl, just because I talked about Sunshine Anderson doesn't.
It's not that you talked about.
Can I bring up my note or no? No.
Oh yeah,
I can bring it up.
Absolutely.
You sure?
Yes. Oh. Wait, okay. What episode was it? It was.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you guys listen to episode 6 with our guest, with Amari Antonio, Reese tells a story about friends in a situation that happened that was like real fucked up. And the entire time I kept asking Reese, like, show me pictures. Who is these people? Fuck them. Like, no friend. We gonna come at them. One of the people from that story was our guest on the show. Doing fuckboyism. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, Reese, episode 7 is all yours. You're up. Go back and listen, guys. So funny how things work.
Episode 7 was our virtual reality.
I really didn't care for that one.
I don't think it was my favorite. I think we re-recorded that.
We redid it. Another backstory. Here we go. When we first started doing the podcast, Reese and I would sit and do 2 episodes at one time. Being that it was pandemic, we really didn't want to be around each other that much, but still have the content out there when it was time to drop an episode. And of course, we were dropping episodes every other week. Mm-hmm. So when we would get together to record, we would do 2 episodes at one time. When we first recorded the virtual reality episode, when you go back and listen after it's been so long, you're like, yeah, I don't like it.
It's not relevant to now or whatever.
The second episode never did the same as the first.
Exactly.
And it's like our energy was gone. And at this point, we're just recording just to record. So as time went on, we started to record and then drop that Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's working out a lot better for us. It feels a lot better. Yeah. So the first one we didn't like, and we redid it.
And we didn't really like that.
And we didn't like that. And granted, and the funny thing is, knowing the 2 different recordings, they were both separate. Like, we didn't bring up something from the first one and put it into the second one. They were completely different. Glad y'all didn't hear the first one. Glad y'all liked this the second one, but really wasn't our favorite.
There wasn't really anything to talk about with that one. I think that the only thing that stood out to me was the sound wasn't great. And I remember, it was the first mics.
And Reese kept calling me rude. Great.
No, I mean, there's a rude moment in every episode.
In every episode. Reese thinks I'm rude, and Reese is rude. You are. So, episode 8, Insta Famous or Nah. We got our new... No, we didn't get our new mics then.
Yes.
Then this is in wrong order.
No.
It is. Because we had our new mics when we were with Tonio and Amari, and that's episode 6.
Are you sure?
Yes. I remember us taking our mics over there.
You're right.
So I think new mics came at One Night Stand. I think One Night Stand.
It might have been. Because we did have the other baby mics, yeah.
Yeah, we had the baby mics for Kiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you might, yeah. So the one thing about Insta Famous, and I would say that this was my least favorite. I didn't like it after. Like the idea of it was good, and the conversation was decent, but it just wasn't my favorite episode. That was out of all of them to date.
So 7 and 8 wasn't our favorite.
No, and I don't know what that was. I think virtual reality. I think that I don't know. I think that it was just I just don't. I'm not interested.
It makes sense why it's not our favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on here.
Number 10.
Number 10. Wait, what happened to 9?
What was number 9? I don't know. I didn't go through. I went through the ones that made.
I didn't realize 9 was missing when I looked over your notes.
See, I sent notes.
Maybe 9 wasn't good either.
I don't think that 9 was bad.
What
I'm about
was
to
it?
go back and let you know.
Did you number them wrong?
No, don't do that. That's my new thing. Don't do that. Yeah, we're playing episodes on accident. We're gonna go back and we're gonna go and look at what episode 9 was because
You don't know?
let's see. I don't know.
Did we do a 9?
We did.
What if we ain't do a 9? For
No,
me?
we absolutely did. Hold on. Entertain the people while I look up what the episode
Now
was.
I gotta
Why does it
entertain
keep
y'all.
playing?
Y'all see how he do? Let me see if I can find it. I don't understand why he's having such a hard time.
Because he had to point out the fact that I didn't have a 9. When I told him that I was going through and just pulling out the...
Is the door open?
that was the open relationship.
That was the open relationship. How you going past that? That was our friends too.
I didn't write any notes about that because I feel like that was kind of a self-explanatory.
Oh, okay.
That was a good episode.
That was a good episode.
It was very...
informative.
informative for... I was gonna say for the people, but also for me.
Yeah,
because
it was. Yeah,
I was intrigued by everything that was going on.
Reese was like a kid in a candy store.
I was just trying to understand and know and all of that. So it was a good episode. There were no real takeaways. I enjoyed the space that we were in. It was pretty.
And now we can't even use it. Now somebody else using it. Mm-hmm. Yo, let me tell y'all. So we went over there to record. We said this gonna be our new secluded location. And you know they gave our secluded location to someone else. Rude.
I called over there one day and my O from the episode was like, "Shh, they're recording." I said, "Who's recording?"
Did you start whispering for him?
Yeah. Who's recording?
Because we not there.
Podcast. I said, "You got another podcast over there."
When did they start renting out secluded locations?
Right. I said, "You know what? You got it. We won't be back."
Won't.
Congratulations, though. They got engaged.
Yes. Congratulations to our friends. I'm here for it.
I don't know. I was thinking about that. I was like, I wonder, has the dynamic changed with that?
Like, do you think new rules came up because now
New
that we're
rules,
engaged?
or did we close the door?
Oh.
I wonder. I think that's a question to be asked. I don't know.
Do we need to bring them back down?
It depends on
the door ajar?
It depends on the answer.
Is the
if
door
it's a good
ajar?
enough answer, then you can come back and talk about it.
You can come back and talk about it.
But if it's
this is a welcoming space, a safe
space.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I knew what you were going. I knew where you were going. It's a safe space.
But,
so and
we welcome just about everybody to come on.
Yeah.
Just about. Just about.
My friend said that.
The just about. Okay, is this the end? What was this one?
That was the one about
we differed on
we strongly stood in different places. It was basically like if a situation that you're in, friendship or relationship or whatever, and somebody says that they're done, and Vermont was on the side of, no, you don't just get to be done with me. You got to explain to me. And I was on the side of, if you want to go, go. Because what I'm not going to do is fight.
And I wanted an explanation.
Yeah, you said there has to be an answer.
Yeah, it was the one time I said the listeners would disagree with me.
Yeah, that was because the Vermont swears.
Everyone, after this episode, everyone agreed with me on every single topic.
I'm going to sip slow because...
Reese notes say that I had a rude moment.
He always has a rude moment. He called me an Oreo friend. If you guys don't understand the Oreo, he feels that I am white inside. He said, okay, when your Oreo friend pulls up in his luxury vehicle blasting WAP. I said, wait.
You have a suburban mom's car.
You got me stuck at the Oreo. I don't think that I'm Oreo.
You don't have to. It's not for you. It's for everyone else. See, that's the problem. You think it's always about you. Moving on. Oh, okay. Sidebar. Reese sent me his notes from work. So in your signature, stop.
What are you doing?
No. Be quiet. In your signature, it says, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact our office.
Where is that at? Oh, yeah.
It's in your signature.
Yeah. It's my last line.
So I thought that was a comment from the show. I said, well, bitch, when the fuck we get an office? What number?
This is our office.
And like I legit said, I said, why did he put this note in there, Phil? I said, we didn't say that during. I said, did we start adding? So I started to look at like, you know how when you do like the description. I said, so what is he putting in the description? Look, I bolded and made sure I said I thought this came from the episode.
I don't like you. I'm like, where is he going with this?
And if
it makes sense.
And I called you back at work, but you didn't answer, so I had to make sure I typed this out so I wouldn't forget it. But it had you answered, I wouldn't include it in here. Oh my God! See,
messing with stuff. I'm telling you. See, this is why I do paper and pen, because you touch stuff on this little iPad and it just starts making noise.
Lord Jesus! All right. Episode 11: Securing My Insecurities. Not really much takeaways from that for me.
No, me either.
You guys just learned some things about us. Episode 12, like it really wasn't nothing there. No tea, no shade to the episode.
No, it was a good episode. It was just,
it was.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah.
Remark rants. I had fun.
That was episode. Fun. I really felt like I had to get ready for class because I was doing my research. Again, now that was one episode that I will say that I was very passionate about the fact that, was it Dr. Dre?
Mm-hmm.
His wife? Like, what the?
Yeah, because you was like, we not giving her that woe friend.
Yeah, it was very, I was 10 toes down for Dre on that episode.
And to piggyback off of that episode, Real Housewives of Potomac, Monique and Candace, I still stand where I stand, and it's really no
Team
change.
Monique, he's very Team Monique, and I'm
Team just so that people don't get confused. I don't support and or condone violence itself. However, I still understand Monique's standpoint and where she's coming from. Period. And Candace's tactics and what she's been doing, and I just don't agree with it. I don't get it. And then you can't tell a person how they can get over something, how long they should fester on something. Like, you can't keep telling a person, get over it, you should be over it. Like, I get that, but at a certain point, it's becoming, you haven't grown from it. What did you learn from it? And you still don't take no accountability for anything, for a hair pull like that. And y'all treated this woman as if she was a killer, as if Monique like literally did physical damage to you, as if she stabbed you, you had a black eye, lip was something, and technically it was just a wig pull. And I think she's more upset because she was more so embarrassed that this was on TV than anything, and it has to keep playing over and over on TV. So maybe that's why she's not over it, and the fact that you lost. So if I lost a fight, I wouldn't want to keep seeing it over and over on TV with my wig shifting.
Oh, okay, so I get it. I do have a different standpoint. I think that I'm kind of the man in the middle, if you will. Like, I get Monique. I get it. And I think that just as much as they're saying that you can't rush Candace through whatever she's going through, like, she's still feeling the effects and she's still hurting, blah, blah, blah. You can't have the expectation that Monique is supposed to be so whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I like you can't have that expectation of her either. I think it goes both ways. Now, with the reunion, what bothered me was Candace wants to paint this picture of, oh, I'm so hurt and I'm still going through it, which she very well may be, but you are throwing daggers and making little shots and talking crazy at the episode. And freedom of speech, say what you will, but at the same time, you're proving the point. She's a provoker.
And the thing is, you can't play victim and be traumatized and still want to talk smack to the person that you say is traumatizing you. Because now if Monique reacts again, are you now re-traumatized? Oh my God, she's attacking me. But if I'm the person that did so much harm and you're traumatized by this whole situation, why are you still popping off at me?
Exactly.
Why am I still a bitch?
I agree.
Why am I still this? Why are you still yelling at me,
making
when I'm not
underlying comments?
And even if it's not underlined, there were direct comments made to her and she's ignoring you. But however, if she responds to you, it's a different story.
Exactly.
Now you're the victim in this situation. And then my thing is, Monique is over it per se, because while y'all were icing her out, Monique had the time to learn, grow, talk to people, get the help in what she need. You were so busy on, you can't be friends with her. Is she coming?
Yes.
I'm traumatized. I need to sue her. Oh my God, you're so busy doing everything else versus focusing on the issue and trying to get a resolution and understanding for yourself and what part you may have played into this. So therefore, you didn't have a chance to heal because you wanted to do everything else to cause damage to this person.
I agree. And that's why I'm just kind of like, like I'm over it. Like I'm interested in seeing part 3 because I'm interested to see how the husbands react. Like that whole thing, I just feel like it's gonna be a mess. Like I want to see out because you see the clips and you hear Robin talking about, you better be glad Juan's not here or whatever she said. And
low key, Juan was on that Las Vegas trip without the cameras with Michael Darby. His real wife. Moving on, episode 13.
13, friend pose in the friend zone.
You notice they both were not there. We know why Jamal wasn't there, but look who else wasn't there. We're lucky.
Jamal.
Child, we knew Jamal wasn't going to come there.
Okay. It ain't going to be bad.
It ain't going to be bad. He said he will never.
He ain't going.
Good girl.
I'm mad. Right. I'm mad that you did that because you cut all my thoughts off.
Remember, I saved you from yourself. Remember you said that last time I cut you off? I saved you from yourself. That goes into our next episode. Didn't I tell you that during the friends and foes?
And yes.
When we weren't supposed to cuss?
That was the one where we said we weren't because of your mother. Because
my mother listened. And you made me cuss. If there's a clip.
I made you curse?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You can disagree.
I absolutely disagree.
And that's fine.
Okay.
I said it in the clip. I said, oh my God, you made me cuss.
That makes it okay.
This is when I gave out your mom nickname.
Did you? Which one?
Episode 13.
You gave her...
No, I said your mom's nickname.
You probably... Oh, no, you tried to get me to say it. I wasn't going to say it. I didn't say it, and I'm not going to say it today.
Coachella got a 2-piece because we started off on the beginning of that episode. Then this is one you wanted to re-record.
Y'all, can I just tell y'all... It is going to be... I am excited for the episode where our mothers come on.
I'm really excited.
I'm excited. I just know that it's going to be... And the shade is going to be that it's going to be the WAP. I mean, the WAP.
Not my Christian mother. She is a saved woman. What?
Okay.
Worship and praise. That's what it's going to be. Worship and praise.
Episode 14.
When Miss Tawanda and Miss Coachella come on, it will be worship and praise. We will have the gospel music playing in the background.
Amen. Amen. We're going to get a lesson. A lesson and a lesson.
And y'all going to see where we get our loud voices, our over talking from. Everything will all make sense.
It'll all make sense because it's...
What's that mean? Was like, you ever met your significant other's family and just look at them like, I understand, baby, it's not you.
When I tell... So, yes, it's very true because I am very much my mother's child.
Facts. Yeah. We almost didn't come out of the... Because we went through something that episode. And we learned that if you go through something...
That's when you become... friends.
And we've been going through something ever since.
Every episode.
We started to point out when we going through.
So y'all know. It's real over here. Because that was a question that people always... Not always, but people always... I said this, not always, and then I go back and say people always. People often ask me, are we real friends? And I'm just like, what do you mean?
Nope.
I don't understand. Y'all.
Just tell them no. No, okay. We're not real friends. We're co-workers. We show up to record and we go home. We go our separate ways.
Okay. That doesn't make sense.
I come in a different door. You come in a different door, and we just meet at the table.
The black table talk.
Okay,
because we just show up.
Yeah, we come in separately. We sit down. We talk, and then
we go.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. And y'all get what y'all get.
Yeah, It sounds good though.
Mm-hmm. And if y'all see us out, it's only for promotion together.
Right, because Ramont won't come out with me based on episode.
I think it was the one
6
with Mariana. Yes, I won't.
He don't come out with me because I'm. Yeah, he just won't come out with me.
Why did I go back? Ooh, that's when we got vulnerable.
Very.
We started to realize we were deep into this podcast thing, and we got to start.
We said, you got to express. You got to peel back some layers.
We got to make the people feel us.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to seem surface.
Yeah. So we let y'all see who we were.
Another not a takeaway, but this was my note from this particular episode, and to go back on loss of words here. Look, it's happening again. Last episode when you were talking about how it's like okay not to be okay and like talk to your friends and everything like that. To speak back to that situation in which I was in during that particular time, we were also still recording like our podcast. That's when me, you, Tonio, and Mike,
the web series,
right? I said podcast. Yeah. Mike had, we became close, and I would come down every weekend and spend time. We were either film or we were just just hanging out. That was my escape from my situation.
Me too.
And you guys did not know.
And I said that. I said, well, I don't know if I said it on the episode, but I've always said that I think that was a moment that I shared with you because I didn't realize you were going through a breakup. And I, of course, was going through a breakup. So I was just like, oh my God. Like, it was weird, but it was like, I'm not the only one. Because you, in those moments, I felt like I was the only one. I was like, oh my God. So, and not even that I thought about it, like, on the forefront, but it was just like, okay, I'm going through this shit. But being around y'all and recording Horism was my escape. So then, I don't know how it came up, but we realized, I was like, oh my God, Ramon's going through the same thing. And so I don't think we ever really sat down and had a conversation, but I found security, no shade, and it sounds crazy, but I found security in knowing that someone else was experiencing a little bit of what I was experiencing. Whether it was, like, I don't know if your relationship, if you ended it or how it ended or whatever, but just going through a breakup, I felt security, like, okay, I'm not the only one. And so it opened me up more to those relationships. And I think that's where me, you, Mike, Antonio really, for me, we really became tight because it was like, okay, I needed that. And that was there. So
and for me, it was more so I look forward to every weekend packing my bag and getting on the road and coming down here. It was like, this is, I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
I can go hang out with these guys. I know that I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get fed. I'm good.
I'm going to have some drinks.
Right. Like, we're going to go out. We're going to have fun. And it was just, for those 3 days, I didn't have to worry about all the shit I was dealing with back in Baltimore, at home, and everything like that. Like, I look forward to it.
It was a moment.
It was for years.
Yeah.
For years.
And then look where we are now. So shout out to Horism. If y'all haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. King Liam Presents. Definitely a profound web series that kind of it's to me and I guess a view into the gay world from the perspective of real friends. And the cool thing about it is we didn't start off like season 1 or whatever we called them back then. Wasn't like, oh, we're friends, but by the end, those were genuine friendships that you saw, and that was, I think that the cool thing is we'll always have that to look at. That's always, because it was us. Like, we had very powerful moments, and we grew and became what we are.
Absolutely.
So boom.
Yeah, thank you guys. Even though y'all didn't know. Yeah.
Now you know.
I just took over the calling out the episodes. Episode 15. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost at 18. Yay. Fuckboyism. On behalf of ALil R&R, we would like to apologize to our guests from that particular episode.
Jay.
Reese, did you send him flowers?
I sent him a text message and we talked. Okay, so
it was a good episode, though.
It was a very good episode. It was the one time that we stood on a united front and shared the same, like, pretty much the same sentiment.
But it was good. But that's why people say, like, us two together talk, like, when we're together and we're agreeing, it is bad for whoever's listening to this.
Because, baby. But so... a little background. Like Ramont had said, that was an individual from a story previously, and we bumped into each other, and we're cool. We're definitely in a good space, and the conversation started off, I think I'm a fuckboy. And I was like, oh, okay, you probably are. And then when we finally sat down, he was like, no, I don't think that I'm a fuckboy. And I was like, okay.
Oh my God. Yes.
I was like, so let's just have the conversation about fuckboys and fuckboyism. Yeah, and
like
and then he...
No, it was just like the intro that... You want to go? It was just like the intro of the fact that we started to... When we came in, like Reese saying, he said that he was a fuckboy. So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to hit him from this perspective if that's how he think that he is and everything like that. You know, we can ask him like, how did he come to this conclusion and so forth? And has things changed, or like, you know, is he dating, and, you know, all the general basic things that are out there. But when he arrived, he was just like, yeah, so... I told you that when I was tipsy. And of course, we all know, like, when we've been drinking, things tend to come out. Honestly, I feel as if he was speaking his truth during that time of him drinking. So therefore, for him to get here and be like, oh yeah, I said that while I was drinking and I'm not really a fuckboy, so I don't want to say that on the show. I don't want to come from that particular angle or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, okay, well, fuck, like, we about to record, so let's change this around. So I was like, okay, well, we will do like a round robin. We going to look up some questions as far as like, what's the definition of a fuckboy, and what are attributes of a fuckboy? And we'll just go around the table like, hey, have you ever done X, Y, and Z? Did you do this? I had questions. I think he had questions that he had found. And Reese had questions that he was found. So all of us were just going to go around the room and try to figure that part out. And I don't know when it happened, when it flipped, changed in the middle of the conversation. Reese could probably pinpoint it out more than what I can. But we started off under the notion of we're going to go and read off of these questions and we were going to be good. And then something happened. And next thing you know, like, he admits that he is a fuckboy and he's now doing all these things. And not only that, he's also in a relationship as well. So it was a little tricky, and it was just like, wait, he came in and said, I don't want this to be about me, and we was like, okay, cool, we gonna respect that and not make it about you. And then the episode ended up being about him.
I don't think that he knew. I don't know how that went.
And here's the thing. I already said it. He said that, Reese, I said I was a fuckboy when we were talking and I had been drinking. We cocktail when we record. He was drinking, and he ended up finding out that he a fuckboy, and the show became about him.
Yeah.
So I told you it was some truth.
Yeah.
It was some truth. He shouldn't have been drinking. Had he not drank, it wouldn't have been about him, and we could have just did our questions. But then we found out the story about him. We need an update. He need to come back on, and we kept trying to we told him to ask,
bring the boy
on, and he said the boy wouldn't do it. I think we good people. I think we good.
That boy ain't ready for us. For the feedback.
I just want to get an understanding. It's not it's not feedback. I just want to get an understanding to what's like. How do you feel?
But I don't.
And like what's it like? We got his perspective and how he dates and what he does, and so I want to know what maybe he's doing the same damn thing. And we good.
True, because it is only one side.
Right.
We only got one side. It would have been dope, but I think that because the conversation,
I only want the boy by himself. I don't want the. I don't
right,
want
of course not. Yeah. But I'm saying, I think because it's always what they say. It's three sides to a story.
Mm-hmm.
We felt a way about the other boy based on what was said by
absolutely,
Jay.
And that's why I want to bring him on.
I don't know. I don't know. We could do that, but yeah, we could see.
All right, and damn, friend, we made it through. Meeting the family. I ain't got nothing about that.
There wasn't because it wasn't. Well, for me, it wasn't gonna happen. It
still ain't gonna happen.
It would happen, but it just wouldn't happen in a way that would be like, "Hi, this is my."
Because they all think that's your man.
Next, because I'm done with you.
Well, friend, we ain't got next. The next episode they should be listening to.
So here we are.
Number 18. We have made it.
This is a lot. Like,
shout out to 2020.
Yeah, 2020 has been good in regards to our podcast.
Yes,
it's where we created. It's where we've definitely grown. It's been a good time. We've been vulnerable. We've opened up. We've just been a lot. It's been a lot, and it's been fun.
That's not it.
It's been good. So,
thank you.
Yeah. What I want to do.
What you want to do for
real
me?
quick is just shout out a couple people because I know that we have a lot of listeners.
We do.
I like to think that we have a lot of listeners.
We do. We got a lot of listeners.
But there are some that are very vocal. Very vocal. So I'm going to start at the top. Miss Tawanda, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us your feedback. We try to stop cursing. That was the biggest thing that I got from Miss Tawanda is that we need to stop cursing. And
listen, just because she's saved now don't mean...
different story for a different time. I want to shout out my friend Q because Q has always been a supportive friend. But,
I love Q.
And she's coming on the show. So we just have to pick the right episode because she is the friend that always tells me that, oh my God, I was listening and I had this to say and this to say and this. And I'll be like, oh my God, like it would be so dope to hear her perspective. Ty is another friend of mine who definitely shouts us out on social media. He is always like, oh my God, I had an opinion about this. I had an opinion about that. So,
and Ty be posting us in his story.
He does. So thank you,
Y'all
Ty.
Need to take a note from Ty.
Shout out to Ty for the support. Larry, all the way in Baltimore. Me and Larry have very good conversations about the podcast. He always comes through and he's like I give him the same shit I give you because I'd be like, I don't understand this Baltimore. He'd be like, it's not that different. Da, 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 da.
It's not.
But he's dope. He's doing his series on. Nope, he's not even on YouTube. He's on his own channel. I'm gonna have to get that information so that you guys
put it in the description.
Yeah, I want to shout out my sister Amber, all of my sisters, Michael, Sheena, everybody listens, but I know that Amber listens because she talks to me about it. So, and then Tonio and Omari, of course, because I mean, they should listen because they were on here,
right?
We just got a text about somebody listening to our podcast and finding out some information about Tonio the other day. So your friend Moyatu, I loved. We did an episode with her.
She's gonna come back.
Yeah, so we had a good time with her. We did an episode on her podcast.
No, she's a vlogger. So she does YouTube.
Yeah, so definitely have to have her on ours. Shout out to her.
That's gonna be a long episode because child, we talked that day.
We talked
that day.
We did. But it was good.
Yeah, it was.
It was good. So shout out to her. And just all of everyone. I think that
shout out to our support system.
Yeah, the support is amazing. Like people say the word fans, and I feel like we're real people. Like the people everyone that I named, and even more people give us real honest feedback. You know, and I have friends from near and far that'll be like, "Yo, I listened to this episode. Like I listened to that episode," and I can appreciate, and I have no expectations, but I appreciate that people are like, I don't listen to every episode, but when I do listen, I'm really in. I respect that because while you're my friend and this is something that I love and I want you to support what I do, it may not be your thing.
Yeah. I have my friend Danielle, she hits me up from time to time and say, oh my God, I love it. Y'all like one of my favorite podcasts. So shout out to her. Also have a few people from my Instagram will be like, oh my God, let me go listen to this, to your podcast that you have been talking about and posting about. Absolutely. I think you absolutely should. And I think, and like you said, once a person listens to one episode, then you start to realize they're still listening.
Oh yeah.
They start to come back like, oh, I listened to this one too. I'm like, okay, you still listening. Right. All right, come through.
And even some of the other, I have a friend Mo who does a podcast himself. And again, the love and the appreciation. Raven, he has his podcast. I'm going to have to put all of this in the description just so you guys know, like, we're supporters as well.
Absolutely.
I think that it is amazing to support other people that are even on the same platform, like podcast to podcast. Like all of us are doing our different things. You know what I'm saying? It's all love.
Curtis is one of Amari's friends, and he listens to the podcast. He always tell me, "Oh my God, I gotta catch up," and I'm like, "Why you not caught up yet? Like you should have been listening." And it's funny.
We come out twice a week. Every other week.
He'd be like, "Ramon," and I'm like, "Curtis was supposed to love me."
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a number of people, and again, what I'm gonna do is anybody that's doing, like Larry has his thing going on, I'm gonna put his a link for him out there. Who did you say something like that? Moyatu has something. We'll put her stuff out there. Just anybody that has anything going on, I'm gonna put their stuff in our description just so you can support them as well.
Absolutely.
I have a friend Landaway. He has a line. Sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, or sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, dope products. He's a listener. I want to bring him on at some point. I think 2020 has been great. And I am looking at 2021. I'm telling y'all.
It's going to be lit for 2021.
All I'm telling y'all is that
all we can do is go up.
Is already like Marcus, you know who you like.
Who the hell is Marcus?
The whole
yeah.
Marcus, I'm gonna put his information out there too. Dope vocals.
We gotta put it out there when we drop it.
Yeah, dope vocals. Really, just I am just
2021 is going to be we're excited.
Elevation.
Yeah.
Elevation.
That's all we can do.
Elevation. And again, not knocking anybody else, but we're about moving up. A little R&R is just going to be.
We're always thinking, always changing. Yeah. And if the sad part is, like, we come up with new stuff and be like, okay, when you want to do it?
And it's like, I want to do everything right away. Like I talked about the gifts, like giving gifts. I want to give them right away because I want people to feel the excitement that I feel. But working with my friend be like, no, let's take our time. So everything there, we have things in line for 2021. So just please rock with us. Again, we invite you guys to shoot us emails at RamonandReese@gmail.com. Our Instagram is ALilRandRPodcast. If you have our personal
hit us up.
Information, reach out to us. We're definitely.
I mean, even if y'all just want to hear us talk about something because we're gonna have an opinion about it.
Yep.
Definitely let us know.
And that's all I'm gonna say. Like, just know that we are ending 2020 on a good note.
Yes.
And 2021 jumping into that bitch on a higher note.
Absolutely.
That's all I got.
You ready to get out these people's speakers?
Done. Good day, my peoples.
All right. Love you guys later. Love you. Thanks.
Right. Hey, what's going on? It is
Ramon
and Reese, and we want to thank you for listening to another episode of A Little R&R. Please subscribe, rate, and comment. Please, please, please. And friend,
what's up?
Where can they find us on the IG?
At ALilRandRPodcast, and that's ALilRandRPodcast. But friend, what if they got like questions, comments, concerns, or like their humble opinion? What should they do?
They should absolutely reach out to us via email at RamonandReese@gmail.com.
And as always, guys, of course, thank you so much for listening. We love you.
We appreciate you.
And of course, we're going to talk to you real soon.
Real soon.